BRICS Africa channel celebrates Oliver Tambo's legacy.
Today we're here at Killarney Mall to watch the cinema, the movie called The London Recruits, a clear tactical strategy by O.R. Tambo, the legend who recruited young men from London to contribute to the struggle by sharing information that was critical for the people of South Africa to know what was the South African illegitimate government was doing to the Africans in this society.
Africa said we've seen you, Oliver Reginald Tambo, leaving the shores of the country you loved so much, leaving the people you loved so much, to continue the struggle against the apartheid regime.
There are many people who feel that it is useless and futile for us to continue talking peace and non-violence against a government whose reply is only savage attacks on an unarmed and defenseless people.
The resistance is going to continue. What one can't be so sure of is the method that it's going to take.
Because of this particular week, we wanted to do something this week because it's my father's birthday week. His birthday's on the 27th. So we thought, well, a few days before, it would be nice to let people know a side of him that they weren't aware of, a history of our country's struggle that they would not have known about, and how he came to the idea to do something a little bit left field in order to reassure South Africans at home that the struggle was still on, and that despite the fact that everything looked as if it was smashed at home, there was life within the ANC yet. And his job, he had been sent out to revive the ANC, and that's exactly what he did.
I've read the book about the London recruits, what role they played in our struggle during those very, very difficult times during apartheid. And this was the idea of our former president, O.R. Tambo, who came with this idea, let's recruit some of the young British people to be used to bring some stuff into South Africa, into the country. And they will design special suitcases where they can put pamphlets underneath, so that when they pass through the airport, the immigration won't see. But which was a very, very risky move that they were making.
Tambo said to me he wanted me to do some work with him, for him. I realized something serious is coming, and he said, we're sending you off. You will be involved in secret work from London. We hit on this idea of looking for young people who could go secretly as tourists.
I'd worked in the rag trade.
Just finished my apprenticeship.
I was in a rock and roll band.
I was facing the draft, which meant a short trip to Vietnam, so I decided to go back to school, and I went to the London School of Economics.
I think most of the South Africans, black South African, they didn't know after the ANC was banned, they didn't know if the ANC was alive. So it was really great to see the power of these pamphlets being blown and people receiving it and dancing and singing. So it was really great. It was real great.
This was such an education to me. I think every child and every human in South Africa needs to see this film. It really opened up. I had no idea of the struggle and everything that was going in the past. This was never taught in my history lessons. This was never taught in any of the social sciences or political sciences classes or anything like that. So I am so honored to be able to be part of this evening. I think it really is a voice that should be heard.
Going through those customs, it was terrifying.
If you get caught, you're in deep trouble. They're going to drag you off and you'll be interrogated by the South African Gestapo.
In the false bottom suitcases, there were explosives and there were these subversive leaflets. You're thinking, well, I better not get caught then. You know, that's what you're thinking, isn't it?
The shock of apartheid is exactly that. And it's everywhere, it's in your face.
We, I hope, looked as if we were a couple. We'd identified ourselves, the stations most used by the black workers.
We wanted one near the Parliament. Well, we chose that. But the ANC didn't, but we thought we'd have a laugh.
Here I was in South Africa on this mission that was completely illegal.
We set all the timing devices so that by the time we left the quarry to go and start planting, everything was ticking.
Tick, 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 tick. Imagine having an accident in the car and that lot going off.
And it blew up, it's maybe 50 feet in the air.
They're laughing and grabbing as many as they can to take back to the townships.
I saw it, just happened, just happened.
The ANC is around somewhere. We don't know where, but somewhere.
The world of creative arts is an important way to record for posterity the struggle of our people. And yes, our country is not necessarily in the most perfect situation right now. And yes, there are challenges that we face, and we're not making excuses for that. But that doesn't change the fact that we must record the history that we've come from. And hopefully when we showcase content like this, it becomes a reminder of our current leadership and the new leadership of the youth to then reinvigorate and reinstill the original values of our liberation struggle and liberation movement, so that we can get South Africa with its great potential back on track in terms of what the original founding fathers of the liberation movement had in mind for our country.
Flawless, beautiful, relevant, exciting, but at the same time we have to suppress our emotions as frequently as possible. I think it's an affirmation that indeed this freedom was not free. There are people that worked very hard. I didn't know the story actually, and as I was going through this, it just reaffirmed the belief in non-racialism, because it's quite clear that the concept of non-racialism is under threat. There is a belief that a certain nation must be undermined or suppressed so that the certain nation can rise to be the only one that have to take the benefits of the hard work of our freedom. But this film has dismissed that myth brilliantly, that there are many people that sacrifice for our freedom, and they expected nothing in return except their sheer contribution to what they believe was injustice, and they've done it beautiful. So I want to thank the filmmakers, the contributors, those that sponsored this film. Job well done, Job well done, phenomenal.